some noise for your amazing host.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sandals Church Kids. Here at Sandals Church, we are all about the vision of being real with ourselves, God, and others.
And we're so excited you're here to hang out with us for this series called Unearthed.
And today is about to get really crazy, with skies filled with flies, darkness for 3 days, and rivers turning into blood kind of crazy.
Yikes. In the midst of all that, you're going to see that God is full of wild mystery, but is also someone you can deeply know as he reveals who he is.
And when you know who God is, you know who you are. So go ahead and print your Get Real guide from the download button below this video at sandalskids.tv.
That way, you can follow along with our Bible story and find activities to help you live out the vision of being real throughout the week.
All right, guys, let's get started.
Coming up.
Whoa, Helga, what are you doing? Is this spark as bad as your bite? Let's find out on Unearthed.
Today we're talking about boils and locusts and hail, oh my, from our story in Exodus chapter 7 through 11. We'll see how Pharaoh turns from God and hardens his heart, which leads to disaster for Egypt.
Boils sound a tad bit gross, locusts I'm pretty sure are grasshoppers, and hail sounds like cold weather. No thanks.
I personally love cold weather, but hail still sounds scary. Well, before we hear our story, it's time for one of our favorite segments,
Pre-show.
Hey everyone, we are here today and we are once again talking about collections. And I am here and I have brought my personal collection of playing cards. That's right.
Just wanted to make sure.
You guys know I've talked about trading cards before. I've collected Pokemon cards and cards from movies and TV shows, but this was actually the very first deck of playing cards that I got, and it was from my uncle who lives in Texas. There is a brand of playing cards called KEM. Now, back in the day when I was younger, before I was Mrs. Coyote, my name was Kelly Elaine McNeely.
Oh, so it's your initials.
And so this company has had the same initials as my name at the time. The cards that are shiny and slippery are the best kinds of cards to have because they shuffle the best.
I'm super good at shuffling.
Show us, please. Thanks for being here today. It was really nice having you as a guest. But anyways, that is how my collection started. And then from there, I kind of just loved the idea of collecting because one of the next times that I kind of realized, hey, this could be a collection, was I was actually at a grocery store called Albertsons.
Ah.
Maybe you guys have shopped there.
Did you ever go to a pharmacy? Because this one's from
Walgreens has cards.
Look, it says, the pharmacy America trusts.
So that's kind of where it started growing. I have some other really fun ones. So these, they're see-through.
Really? Hold on.
Yeah, they're clear.
Can I tell what card you have? Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't tell what card they have from behind, but yeah, it's see-through.
Exactly. Also in my collection, for those of you that are Star Wars fans, I have a set of Star Wars cards. Yeah.
Okay, these ones are my favorite so far because when I hold them, it makes me feel like I'm a giant.
Speaking of giant, so I do have this deck right here of jumbo playing
Those are
cards.
humongous. I'd like to see you shuffle this deck and the huge deck together.
These are great for stocking stuffers.
I got these ones for Mrs. Coyote. So these are Super Mario trading cards, playing cards, and they're super rare because you could only get them if you were a part of Club Nintendo.
Yeah.
We're not even gonna open them.
And the other cool thing that started happening is because people in my family and friends that I knew, they knew that I loved collecting cards. And so when they would visit different states or even countries, they would start bringing me cards. So these are from Paris, which is really, really awesome.
It'd be cool to get a bunch of them in like different languages.
That
so,
would
like,
be cool.
I'd love to see one. I'd be like, what card is this?
We don't
I
know.
don't know. I'd have to go by what type of crown they have on.
Okay, I've got New Orleans, Cape Cod, Monaco.
Now, if there was like a card that you don't have yet from like maybe a movie that you want or a place that you would want.
I think I'd want the hugest, like biggest giant set of cards. I'm talking like 3 foot tall cards. I don't even know if they exist, but I want the biggest deck of cards
Yeah.
like in existence.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for showing us your collection. What's funny is some of these you've never even opened yet.
Yeah, some of them are too precious that they're really just for collections, and some I've designated as playing cards, but
So
some
cool.
I don't touch.
All right. Well, thanks for showing us your collection, and we
Thanks.
will see you guys next time.
All right, friends, now is the time to sing some songs together in a time of worship, which is one of my personal favorite things to do.
Worship can be so many different things, but singing to God is a really great way to reflect on who He is and thank Him for all He's done.
Now's a chance for you to get real with yourself and with God. Before heading into this time of worship, maybe you need to let some things go, or maybe you're ready to jump in because you're so filled with joy and you just want God to know.
You are welcome to stand up and dance around or just kneel down and listen. You might even want to clap and lift up your hands. How you want to worship God is up to you.
Now let's worship together.
Dear enemy, you were just a part of the plan for the hope and the future I now have. Dear enemy, my God is the master creator. Everything is better in His hands. You meant to hurt me, but God turned your evil into good. It was to save me and the lives of many people. God turns evil into good. God turns evil into good. Dear enemy, you were just a piece of the puzzle God set aside from the very start. Dear enemy, you're a blot of ink on my canvas. God is framing as a work of art. You meant to hurt me, but God turned your evil into good. Into good. It was to save me and the lives of many people. God turns evil into good. 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 He's pointing me to light with your arrows. He's building a throne with your sticks and stones. He's cooking me a feast with your fire. Yeah, He's using you to help me grow. He's pointing me to life with your arrows. He's building a throne with your sticks and stones. He's cooking me a feast with your fire. Yeah, He's using you to help me grow. You meant to hurt me, but God turned your evil into good. Into good. It was to save me and the lives of many people. God turns evil into good. 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 God turns evil into good.
God, you are richer than a billionaire. You own the universe and everywhere. You own the great wide oceans. You own the tallest mountains. You made the fish in the sea. You made the birds in the trees. You own the cattle on 1,000 hills and still take care of me. My God is more than rich. My God is full of grace and mercy. Oh, my God owns everything, and He still cares for me. The Creator of the universe, and He is right here with me. He is right here with me. He is right here with me. Yeah, He is right here with me. God, you are richer than a billionaire. You own the universe and everywhere. You own the great wide oceans. You own the tallest mountains. You made the fish in the sea. You made the birds in the trees. You own the cattle on 1,000 hills and still take care of me. My God is more than rich. My God is full of grace and mercy. My God owns everything, and He still cares for me. The Creator of the universe, and He is right here with me. He is right here with me. He is right here with me. Yeah, He is right here with me. Yeah, He loves me. His love is so rich, it's never ending. Yeah, His love is so rich. My God is more than rich. My God is full of grace and mercy. Oh, my God owns everything, and He still cares for me. And He is right here with me. My God is more than rich. My God is full of grace and mercy. Oh, my God owns everything, and He still cares for me. The Creator of the universe, and He is right here with me. He is right here with me. He is right here with me. You're right here with me. Yeah, He is right here with me.
All right, friends, now for the moment we've all been waiting for, our Bible story.
Welcome to our series called Unearthed, where we're digging up the truth about who God is. We're calling this series Unearthed because just like archaeologists discover mysterious clues that show us who ancient people were and what they were like, we can discover clues about who God is and what He is like through ancient stories in the Bible.
And the best part is, we don't even have to look that far, because God chooses to reveal or show Himself to us in many different ways.
This week, keep your eyes open for a hidden robot Jeff in our video as we talk about how God is the most powerful.
And because He's the most powerful, we can respect God.
So let's dig in. In 3, 2, 1.
Imagine if you woke up one day with a dozen slimy frogs sitting on your face, staring you in the eyes.
You tried to get dressed, but all of your clothes were covered in gnats.
You went to sit down, but your chair was covered in flies.
You went to brush your teeth, but instead of water, blood came out of the faucet.
Then you looked outside to see all the wild animals like squirrels and birds were laying on the ground looking very sick.
You opened the refrigerator in the pantry to grab something to eat, but all the food was completely gone.
And a few minutes later, the loudest thunder you have ever heard in your life started booming through the sky, and it started raining hail the size of baseballs.
So, did you know that these same things happen in the Bible? Let's find out why.
So last week we left off with our story about Moses telling Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, that God wanted him to let the Israelite people leave. And instead of listening, Pharaoh made the Israelites work even harder as slaves. But God promised Moses that he would free the Israelite people.
Our story picks up when God told Moses that he would do many miracles in Egypt to show his power and save the Israelites. Moses and his brother Aaron told Pharaoh once again that God said to let the Israelites leave so that they could worship God. Moses and Aaron warned Pharaoh that if he didn't let the Israelites go, God was going to send plagues or disasters as a punishment for not listening.
But Pharaoh, he was stubborn and he did not listen. So God followed through on his word and sent 10 different plagues to show the Egyptians his power. Now during the plagues, God protected the Israelites so nothing bad would happen to them. But the Egyptians were not protected from any of those plagues.
The plagues were water turning into blood,
A frog invasion,
dust turning into gnats,
swarms of flies covering everything,
a disease that killed all the farm animals,
everyone getting painful sores all over their bodies,
a thunder and a hailstorm that destroyed all of the food crops,
locusts or grasshoppers that ate all of the plants,
total darkness for 3 entire days.
and one terrible final plague that you'll have to come back next week to hear about.
Moses warned Pharaoh each time, and each time Pharaoh was stubborn and he didn't listen. He tried to show that he was as powerful as God through Egyptian magicians, but he just couldn't do it.
He tried to trick the Israelites to make them stay, but he couldn't.
He even threatened to kill Moses, but he couldn't.
There was nothing Pharaoh could do to stop God's power.
The plagues showed the Egyptians, especially Pharaoh, how powerful God is.
The plagues even show that God is more powerful than any other person that claims to be God, including the false gods that the Egyptians worshipped, and the powerful Pharaoh who claimed he was a god too.
The Bible tells us that God is omnipotent, which is a fancy word that means all-powerful or having power over everything. God is powerful enough to control water, animals, weather, plants, food, disease, and the sun, just like he did during the plagues. God is stronger and more powerful than everyone and everything else.
After all, he was the one who created everything in the first place. That's why the one thing to remember is that God is the most powerful.
Power is kind of like these sparklers. Human power is when people think that they are in control and have power. They might think that they are in charge of their life and they can do whatever they want. They might even think they are in control of other people's lives. It reminds me a lot of Pharaoh from our story. But this kind of power never lasts for long. Then there's God's power. God is actually in charge of everything and can actually do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. He is truly in control of the entire universe, including all people. God's power is stronger than anything that stands in its way, even if it seems impossible. God has always been all powerful and always will be all powerful. His power never runs out and can never be stopped. That's why followers of God choose to honor him. He is deserving of our praise and obedience because he is much, much greater, smarter, better, and more powerful than us. That's why we can respect God.
Hi kids, my name's Aurelio and I am here to tell you about a time that I respected God. And if you don't know what the word respect means, it's to really look up to something. So maybe some of you look up to your dad, or you look up to your mom, or you have that special grandparent or that person in your life that you just want to make happy. This is a story about a time that I just really needed to make God happy. And so right now I have this really cool job where I get to work at Sandals Church, and I get to tell people about Jesus and tell people about God, and I get to help people. But before I had this really cool job, I had another really cool job. And this is what I used to wear at my other really cool job. I was a police officer, and I was a police officer for over 15 years. I got to drive in one of these, and this is actually a model of one of my police cars that I used to drive. I absolutely loved my old job. I loved helping people when they were in trouble. I loved helping children. I loved helping parents. I loved making people feel safe. But there came a point where God said, you have learned all that you came to learn in this job, and I have something else for you to do. And I didn't want to leave. I enjoyed what I got to do every day. I got to play with cool toys. I got to fly in helicopters. I got to play with dogs, all these cool things. And no matter how much I wanted to continue to wear this and be a part of the police department, I knew that God had something better for me. And so I had to respect his wish and respect his call on my life and walk away from being a police officer. And so part of what I get to do is talk to kids at church. I get to talk to moms and dads, big brothers and big sisters. I get to talk from the stage up front sometimes and tell people that we are here for you. We want to help you through whatever it is that you're going through. And kids, God has a place where he has uniquely gifted you to be able to do something special. He's somebody that is way up here that we need to look up to. And so I just want to encourage you that as you listen to God, as you pray, that you just know that what he has and what he wants is best for us. But you never know what God's gonna have for you. And what I've been able to do in my time here is talk to more police officers about Jesus that maybe wouldn't have listened to anybody who wasn't a police officer. So God showed me that even though I was no longer with the police department, I could still use all those skills and abilities that I learned while I wore this badge to help people here at the church, here at Sandals Church. And so just like when I left my job out of respect for God, you can respect God too.
Let's take a quick look at our verse for this series in Exodus chapter 15, verse 11. It says, "Are there any gods like you, Lord? No, there are no gods like you. You are wonderfully holy. You are amazingly powerful. You do great miracles."
We hope you learned something new, and remember the one thing. The one thing for today is God is the most powerful.
And what can you do about that? You can respect God.
Now, these are great things to think about this week and even talk to your friends and family about. We even put them down on those Get Real guides we mentioned on the download button below.
And parents, there's a Get Real guide for you too. This guide helps you start conversations at home about this weekend's message. There are even some next steps to help you as well.
Before we end, we're going to go into one more song of worship. So go ahead and get up on those feet and let's sing together.
Everything I ever needed, everything. You're a light in the darkness. You're water for my thirst and the craziness I see. You are holding everything, oh, oh. You're everything I was made without him. In him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world. When it feels like my life is caving in, you're holding it. You're everything I ever needed. All things were made through him. Nothing was made without him. In him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world, yeah. You're the light of the world. All things were made through him. Nothing was made without him. In him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. All things were made through him. Nothing was made without him. In him there is life. That life is light for the people of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world. You're the light of the world.
Hey guys, it is that time right now to open up mail that you guys have sent to us. And today's mail comes from Melody, Briley, Sierra, and the entire Della Porta family. So we cannot wait to jump in on one of our favorite segments called
Mail time!
All right, so our first letter is from a sweet little lady named Briley, and I need to be careful opening this because Briley filled it to the brim with glitter. And like,
so fun.
once glitter gets in your hair, talking like my arm hairs, it never ever leaves. So thank you for sending that. I love that. So she talked about how much she loves watching St. Louis Church Kids, and here is an awesome picture that Briley drew of her and Jesus. It's so fun, and I love the flower that you did. Hey Briley, thank you so much for drawing us your own personal artwork. We're gonna make sure to hang this on our wall.
All right, and our next letter comes from our friend. Her name is Melody, and this envelope is packed with tons of stuff.
Whoa, it's like a whole journal.
Okay, so
Drawings.
we've got multiple pages, drawings. Let's see.
Oh yes.
Okay, so Melody, my guess is you are an artist because there are so many great illustrations. Here's what she says. She said she is in 6th grade and she is writing to us because a few Sundays ago her dog Candy passed away and it was hard for her, but she said once she watched church, it helped her a lot and put a smile on my face. It made me happy, so thank you. Melody, we are so grateful to hear that watching videos and getting to hear about God and hear about his love for you and how much he cares for you brought a smile to your face and a little bit of comfort. It's never easy to lose a loved one, especially a dog that I bet was a huge part of your family. Thank you for sharing that with us though, and that encouragement that watching church did make you happy. And okay, she drew 3 different pictures of some amazing dragons.
Yeah.
So we've got lots of dragons. Melody, you also drew this amazing illustration of Mr. Coyote over here and Mrs. Coyote and even our daughter, Little Coyote, and it looks like we are dressed up in some beautiful gowns and some crowns. That is such a great drawing. I love it. And thank you so much for all these dragon illustrations. You are an amazing artist, Melody, so keep it up. We loved getting those drawings.
So our next letter is from the Della Porta family, including Vivian and Aubrey, and the Della Portas are from New York.
Ooh.
So awesome. And here's what the parents say. Greetings from New York. My husband and I attended St. Louis Church from 2008 to 2012 when we lived in Riverside. We were there when you moved into the building on Palmerita. I remember that. We are so happy to share the message of being real with our own kids. And check it out. Here's what Aubrey drew. A very shiny, very colorful Robot Jeff and Louis letter. That is so awesome. And then we got a self-portrait from Vivian right here with Vivian and her cat. Vivian, do you have a cat? And I'm super excited because she said, hey, I love your milkshake videos. Can you do another one? And she did her own right here. She put chocolate bar, lollipop, and then she put lettuce, tomatoes, ranch, honey. Oh.
It sounded good at first.
It sounded really good at first. And Vivian, here's the thing. We did film another shake challenge, and you're gonna have to wait to see it. But in the meantime, make sure to check out the smoothie challenge that we did around Christmas time, where we blended up a bunch of Christmas items, and it was terrible. You can find that on sandalskids.tv. And parents and family de la Portas, thank you guys so much for writing us.
And our last letter today comes from Sierra. Sierra has to share with us that she is 10 years old. She loves watching Sandals Church Kids, and she mentions that her favorite animal is a sloth, which brings us to today's drawing challenge for you, Mr. Coyote.
Yes.
Sierra would like to know if you can draw a sloth for her.
I can try, but I might fall asleep because I know that sloths like sloths. Sloths like to sleep. So I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to do this without. Okay, I'm gonna go as fast as I can. Here we go. All right, Sierra, there is my sloth drawing for you. Hopefully it was not too slow. And I also like sloths. I like their hands. They're very interesting. So fun. Thank you for that drawing challenge.
Thank you all of you for your letters. And if you want to send us a letter, there are two ways to do that. The first way is by sending an email at mail@sandalskids.com, or you can send us a letter through the mail at Sandals Church Kids, 150 Palmerita Avenue, Riverside, California, 92507. We love hearing from you guys, so much so that when we hear from you, we send a letter back. We've got an exclusive Louis letter note card to send your way and some really fun special exclusive stickers just for you. Thank you so much. We cannot wait to hear from the rest of you. We'll see you next time.
You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I have had so much fun being your host.
Yeah, and thank you so much, guys. We love spending this time with you.
Now, one last thing before you go. You can always check us out on Instagram at Sandals Kids. We post highlights from the weekends, share important information we have for you and your family, and even post some fun behind the scenes of our team.
I love seeing all the videos because I get a chance to get sneak peeks at what is coming up.
Absolutely. Thanks so much again, everyone, and we hope to see you next week.